A young songwriter gets rejected, his lyrics get thrown out, and someone else's version of the exact same song goes on to become one of the most iconic recordings in music history. Most artists would just move on. David Bowie waited, got angry for an entire year, and then built his revenge directly into one of the greatest songs ever written. In 1968, David Bowie was hired to write English lyrics for a French song called Comme des Habitudes. He wrote a version called Even a Fool Learns to Love. Nothing happened with it. Then songwriter Paul Anka bought the rights to that same French melody and rewrote it as My Way. Frank Sinatra recorded it in 1969. It became one of the most legendary recordings of the 20th century. Bowie's version was shelved completely. His name disappeared from the entire story. In a 2002 interview with Michael Parkinson, Bowie finally admitted how much that rejection actually affected him. That really made me angry for so long, for about a year, he said. Eventually, I thought, I can write something as big as that, and I'll write one that sounds a bit like it. That sentence alone explains everything about how life on Mars came to exist. Bowie was not inspired by My Way. He was furious about it. The proof is built directly into the music. Life on Mars and My Way share practically the same chord structure, just shifted up a few keys. Bowie even scrawled the words inspired by Frankie directly onto the back cover of the Hunky Dory album, an open, almost cheeky acknowledgement of exactly what he had done. He called using that melody a statement of rightful ownership, not theft. In his mind, that melody was already his before Paul Anka ever touched it. The writing process itself took less than a single afternoon. Bowie described sitting in a park near a bandstand, humming a melody he could not get out of his head. He walked to catch a bus, jumped off 2 stops early, and walked home just to keep working on the song. By late afternoon the same day, the entire lyric and melody were finished. A song built from a full year of frustration came together in a matter of hours. Then came the studio session that turned a great song into a legendary one. Rick Wakeman, who would later become a defining member of the band Yes, came in to record the piano part. According to studio trivia from the session, Wakeman played the exact same piano that Paul McCartney had used to record Hey Jude. Mick Ronson, Bowie's guitarist and closest creative partner, wrote the soaring string arrangement that gives the song its massive cinematic scale. Bowie recorded his vocal performance in a single take. Producer Ken Scott later said Bowie was the only singer he ever worked with where virtually every single take was a finished master. Inside the lyrics themselves, Bowie hides another sharp piece of commentary. The line, "Workers have struck for fame because Lennon's on sale again," is a direct jab at John Lennon's 1970 song, Working Class Hero. Bowie takes aim at the entire music industry, the way fame itself gets sold, packaged, and repackaged, even by the artists who claim to be against that exact system. Despite everything Bowie put into it, Life on Mars was not even released as a single when the album first came out. Hunky Dory sold only about 5,000 copies in its first 3 months and failed to chart in the UK at all. It took the explosive rise of Ziggy Stardust over the following year to bring listeners back to this earlier album. Once that happened, RCA finally released Life on Mars as a single in 1973, where it climbed to number 3 in the UK. What started as a rejected demo and a full year of bitterness became a song so massive it now gets called Bowie's signature work, his very best song, by critics who have heard his entire catalog. Sinatra never even realized he had been answered. But David Bowie spent one furious year making absolutely sure the world would remember exactly who wrote it.